So speaking of that economy and speaking of this government shutdown that I think we're in like ninth day or so right now, um, this Republican Party is losing the battle. Mostly because this administration that's running this country keeps blathering about how they're happy about it while they blame Democrats for it. They're losing the discussion and the debate over the healthcare crisis that's about to explode further in their faces. That's a direct indication of that bill that they signed that they said was so wonderful. And for some reason, dumbass Mike Johnson keeps going on TV thinking that his smarmy face is going to convince anyone that what he's saying is true.
Hi, Mr. Johnson. So my question or comments are related to what you said yesterday about not being open to pass any legislation to ensure that military gets paid. I'm sure you can tell by my voice I'm very shaky. Just want you to hear a little bit about my family. I have two medically fragile children. I have a husband who actively serves this country. He suffers from PTSD from his 2 tours in Afghanistan. If we see a lapse in pay come the 15th, my children do not get to get the medication that's needed for them to live their life, because we live paycheck to paycheck. I heard you earlier say that you side with President Trump on anything that he says. Well, I just read an article this morning that said he absolutely wholeheartedly believes that there needs to be legislation put in so that we do not miss a paycheck. You have the power to do that. And as a Republican, I'm very disappointed in my party, and I'm very disappointed in you, because you do have the power to call the House back. You did that, or you refused to do that just for a show. I am begging you to pass this legislation. My kids could die. We don't have the credit because of the medical bills that I have to pay regularly. You could stop this, and you could be the one that could say military is getting paid. And I think that it is awful, and the audacity of someone who makes 6 figures a year to do this to military families is insane.
All right, Samantha.
All right, Samantha. All right, damn, you got his ass already. Cut his ass up. But that's based off of a real life situation. The types of things that these Republicans who are playing politics with every aspect of everything that they do continue to forget and neglect. But as you see someone have to face and listen to someone in real time tell them how detached he is because he doesn't give a damn about her life or her children's life, you see that same face, that snake going, "Mm." So he's in his internal thoughts. He's like, man, how long is she going to be kicking my ass around before I can come up with some bullshit answer to make it seem like I care when it's very obvious I'm contorting my face into positions trying. Such a problem for you. I'm so sorry, Samantha. Here's his bullshit answer, by the way.
Samantha, I'm so sorry to hear about your situation. The reason I've been so angry this week, and they've been calling me out on media, Johnson's angry. I am angry because of situations just like yours. I have a big military district, and my district is the home of the Global Strike Command at Barksdale Air Force Base and Fort Polk, the Joint Readiness Training Center. I have one of the biggest military districts and military families in America. I have a lot of airmen and soldiers who are deployed right now, and they have young families at home, and they have children in health situations like yours. This is what keeps me up at night. I want you to hear something very clearly. The Republicans are the ones delivering for you. We had a vote to pay the troops. It was the continuing resolution 3 weeks ago. Every single Republican but 2 voted to keep the government open so that your paycheck can flow. Every Democrat in the House, except for 1, voted to close it. The Democrats are the ones that are preventing you from getting a check. If we did a vote on the floor, pay troops, it's not a lawmaking exercise because Chuck Schumer is going to hold that up in the Senate. He is demonstrating by voting now 6 times to keep the government closed that he does not want the troops to be paid. And you should listen to his comments last night, as reported this morning. He is enjoying this. He said every day gets better for us, quote unquote. Chuck Schumer and the Democrats are preventing your family from getting the care they need, not Republicans, and my heart goes out to you.
His heart does not go out to her at all. His whole purpose is to try and continue to push these politics. He literally can't think any other way. He can't even come up with any way to actually act like he cares about what is that she's going through. I bet he couldn't even recite to her what it is that she had an issue with. I bet he doesn't even realize that she mentioned her children. I guarantee you he has no idea. That whole time he's like, okay, how can I formulate this to blame Democrats for this shutdown? The whole purpose is to say it's their fault, it's their fault, it's their fault, completely ignoring what is that we're seeing. How is it that it's their fault? And all of these issues that many folks are having, from military families to regular folks to businesses, to federal employees, when they hear this guy that Mike Johnson answers and bows down to continue to say things like this.
It gets a little bit worse as it goes along, and we'll be making cuts that will be permanent. And we're only going to cut Democrat programs. I hate to tell you, I guess that makes sense, but we're only cutting Democrat programs. But we're going to start that, and we have Russell. We can talk to you about it if he wants to, but we'll be cutting some very popular Democrat programs that aren't popular with Republicans, frankly, because that's the way it works. They wanted to do this, so we'll give them a little taste of their own medicine.
Is that how you want the country run? We're going to cut Democrat programs to give them a taste of their own medicine. What medicine do you think he's talking about? You mean that time that a Democratic president, there was a government shutdown, and they said, we're going to start cutting Republican programs to give them a taste. I mean, sorry, not even taste their own medicine. This is the taste of somebody's medicine. You know, our Democrats, if there's a shutdown, they go, let's just shut down and cut Republican programs, Republican folks who work in the federal government. What does that mean? What are Democratic programs? The ones that they've been cutting ever since this guy got into office? What are Republican programs that are from the federal level? Things that they like. I remember when someone, any politician, didn't come off as being a unifier, especially from the White House, that they were seen as a divisive, bad president. Everything, 100% of the things this guy says it's Biden's fault. It's Democrats' fault. They're evil. Everything that they say is based off of hating this other side that's doing, by the way, winning this debate over what's about to happen with healthcare. So much so, they're not even really having that fight anymore. They're just saying, we can debate this after we're back in session. As long as we're back in session, we can debate this further. We've been debating it. We already know where your stance is. It's fuck those American citizens and their health care. So John Thune, the guy who's supposed to schedule these votes and the guy that can actually be part of negotiating some of these things that can end this, he's reverted on to talking about how bad the ACA is, rather than talking about how bad their bill is that's going to destroy more people's lives.
The president would like to overhaul Obamacare and give people health insurance that is higher quality and more affordable, but you've got Obamacare now embedded for the last 15 years.
We're back to Obamacare. What low-cost, great health care is Donald Trump going to implement? They asked him about it during the campaign at that debate when he said he's got like remnants of a plan. I forget the exact quote. He's got ideals of a plan. He's got a framework. It's something like that.
This is now your third time running for president. You have long vowed to repeal and replace the Affordable Care Act, also known as Obamacare. You have failed to accomplish that. You now say you're going to keep Obamacare, quote, unless we can do something much better. Correct. Last month, you said, quote, we're working on it. So tonight, 9 years after you first started running, do you have a plan, and can you tell us what it is?
Obamacare was lousy health care, always was. It's not very good today. And what I said, that if we come up with something, and we are working on things, we're going to do it and we're going to replace it.
So just a yes or no, you still do not have a plan?
I have concepts of a plan. I'm not president right now.
This is what they're now saying is the next best answer.